We thank you for staying tuned. It is still the conversation on Lagos television, and on this side we'll be discussing a vital issue, securing our community for a safer Lagos. Now, when it comes to matters of safety, it is essential for everyone to come together and take proactive steps. Joining us today is Prince Dr. Ifalade Oyekan, the General Manager of the Lagos State Neighbourhood Safety Agency, and he'll share valuable insights on how we all, I said we all, can contribute to enhancing the safety and security of our neighborhoods. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me, ma'am.
So let's begin the conversation by understanding the roles of your agency.
Okay. When you're talking about neighborhood safety agency, maybe I need to give you a little background about it. Neighborhood safety agency used to be neighborhood watch. And then, we always have this green uniform under the local government. That's the 57 local government. And our main job right from there is security. So afterwards, the government of the day thought it wise that, okay, we need to upgrade the security outfit. And that's in 2016, 2017, we became Neighborhood Safety Agency. And when you're talking about Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Agency, you're talking about a community policing. A community policing that you find in the 57 local government of the state. Not only that, for every 5 homes, you see neighborhood officers. Because at that time, what we had was 100 officers per local government. So we are talking about 5,700 officers per local government. And our main job is to secure life and properties like every other law enforcement outfit. But not only that, our job again is to corroborate with the Nigerian police and every other law enforcement agency, may it be federal, may it be state, may it be local government, in order to make Lagos State safe. And we have been doing that since 2016, 2017, we came into full force. And when you want to look at the operations, I got there in 2021, that's 21st of April to be precise, by the directive of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, that I need to go and rebrand the agency, with other colleagues of mine. And when you look at the architectural laid down network of the agency, we found out that there's a lot of things that we need to do, coupled with the fact that we want a state police, before 2 years. That's the mandate given to us. And 2 years was after, that's before the election, that's the general election that passed on. But we gave state police architectural network under 8 months, which was pronounced by Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. And see, the main work we do, we are gossiper. We touch light. We want to know what is happening in our community, in our area. And I stand to be corrected. When you're talking about an agency that is well spread, you can't rule neighborhood out. Sometimes a lot of people ask so many questions about, the way we operate. Yes, sometimes you see an officer in uniform, which is the operational officers, like every other law enforcement officers. But ours is more than that. We have what is called the intelligent officers. That's the officers that wear, all the color clothes, and you won't be able to identify them.
So they're not just in uniforms?
They don't
undercover
dress.
agents?
Undercover, yes. They're undercover officers. They do more work than even, the uniform officers. Because by the time they are sitting down with you, discussing with you, trying to get information out of you, you won't know. You just believe, it's one of those things, somebody just sitting down around me. And a lot of it, a lot of times we put this into practice as well. During construction, when you are talking about construction and you can't really go Lagos State out, you could find out that this road that I apply today, tomorrow, construction is taking place, upgrading is taking place. So what we do is, you find a lot of traffic, so build up. And what we do is that all those intelligent officers, they go into their means, try to hawk. So by so doing, a lot of these good boys, so to say, we've impregnated a lot of them. Because you just believe, okay, this guy is hawking like me. So at the same time you snatch phone, somebody is down there, radioing the other person is coming your way, they pull you down. So these are the dirty jobs we do that, you know, people don't see. But, you know, I'll try as much as possible to let you know some, but
I like
some will be.
I like the fact that you said, you know, these are some of the things you do that people don't see, because where I live, I see your officers a lot there. They just sit down, and every day when I drive past, I wonder, what are these people doing? So something must have happened in Lagos State for the creation of LNSC. LNSA?
Yes, there's difference
Yes,
between
safety
LNSA,
agency, yes, you know, LNSA. So I'd like to know what inspired the state government, you know, to come up with this agency.
When you look at it, ma'am, there's no way the Nigerian police or every other police,
Even the civil defense.
even the civil defense,
Okay.
is not enough to take care of your domain. And when you're talking about neighborhood safety agency, you find out that our officers, once you are employed, you have been posted in your wood.
Okay.
Unlike every other law enforcement outfit that you could be brought from Sokoto, from Kaduna, by the time you want to settle down, it will take you around 6 months. But we stay in the neighborhood. That's why I said for every 5 homes, you see one neighborhood officer.
That's true.
So it's very easy. Like in Europe now, let's say UK now, you see we call them Mama Insurance. You see them sitting by their windows, retired, you know, citizen, and anything that is going on, they know everything by the palm of their hands. So the same thing with neighborhood safety agency. You should be able to tell us that. Number 3, Yasikira Lungbebe. Who is this person coming up that I'm seeing? New faces.
Okay, so as I'm seeing them sitting down, they know where I live.
They know everything about you, man.
Oh, okay.
Our job, when you look at us sitting down, our job is not to do the traffic worthy work, which is last mile work. So I don't need to be there. But time will arises that I will be there. But we get to that. So when I'm sitting down, I'm looking at what is happening around me.
Surveillance.
Trying to survey, then get your report down. What has taken place in the next few minutes? Sometimes we put them to text. You know, we just send people to go. And how do we come about, you know, trying to, you know, all this one chance and stuff like that? Is by sitting and monitoring your environment day in, day out. And you can be a perfect person when you do that day in, day out to say, yes, this vehicle always pass this route. Okay, I didn't see this vehicle today. Moreover, when it is a vehicle that smokes or that makes noise, you know, it will be notable to you to know that, okay, this person hasn't passed there.
Oh, okay.
So sitting down of them is not just sitting down.
Okay.
It's them doing their job.
All right. Based on what you have just said now, the surveillance part, and then based on the data that you have collected, what are the most prevalent security challenges facing communities in Lagos?
Well, see.
Or is it each community has their own
See,
peculiar...
let's start this way. Each country has their own peculiar problems. Then you rain it down that each state has their own problems. And I won't be shy away from this. The biggest problem we have in Lagos State today is courtesan. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like you to talk more about that.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about it, but not more.
Okay.
Because, you know,
You don't want
security
to, you don't want to
issues.
give out some
See, let me tell you this. When you sit down, you belong. If we are not fighting for territorial, you know, ground, supremacy, you'll be fighting for some other things. And an idle mind is a devil's workshop. If there's no rivalry, if there's no fight, if there's no taste, because I've got weapon on me, I want to utilize it. I want to try my skill. Then you find them trying their skill somewhere else. And when you're talking about courtesan, we are not... Courtesan is meant to be used for good things. Me coming from a royal houses now, I could tell you that, you know, the traditional courtesan is not to kill one another. It's for us to have a peaceful life, to empower you, to bring you up, the way it is being done then. But now you find even mechanic doing courtesan, you find panebita doing courtesan.
Secondary school children.
Secondary school, primary school.
Primary school.
We have reports. See, what we do is that we do when we got here in 2021, the report used to be monthly report. But we felt that there are some issues that we can't step down for a month to go by. So we changed it to weekly reports. So our weekly reports go to the stakeholders. That is one report. The other report we're talking about is a specialized report. I want to touchlight these people. I want to know what is happening there. A specialized report. Like, okay, let's take it this way. Abandoned buildings. I can give it to you freely, abandoned buildings all over Lagos State. And that enable other sister agencies to work as well. If I have this template, if I have this Bible to give to you and say, these are abandoned buildings, I've done like 50% of your job. It's just for you to go there. The address is there, everything, pictures is there, for you to go there to see what is happening and what is happening there. You find these good boys, sleeping there. When they go for activities, at the end of the day, they come. You bring one child from XYZ to Lagos State. That person needs to be, accommodated. They sleep there, they pay maybe 200 naira. You find them using board, as in cardboard, to do windows, all those things. And do you know the amount of rapes that goes on in those abandoned buildings? Do you know the amount of weapons recovered from those abandoned buildings? But at the end of the day, when you look at it, we as a neighborhood safety agency, the officers now in neighborhood safety corps, we don't carry arms. So we resorted into technology. Now in the 5 local government, we shoot up our drones. Live, we see what is happening. We have body-worn camera. I stand to be corrected. We started the body-worn camera in Lagos State under the governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. I used to be in Leti. Leti is Lagos State Law Enforcement Training Institute, where we train the law enforcement officers. So we know what Lagos State needs. And when you're talking about law enforcement outfit, that's community policing, all over the world, the minimum department and units you could have is 46 departments and units. But when we got to neighborhood, we met 2 on ground, which of course at this point I have to give kudos to the pioneer board of Lagos State Neighborhood Safety Agency, because without them we can't build on what they've discovered. They've done a good job. But now we are building on it to see that the way forward is technology. So at our own comfort zone, our situation room, we could monitor what is happening in Epe, Ikorodu, Badagry, name it.
Okay. Technology, as you've said, works for monitoring, for surveillance.
Yes, ma'am.
In a situation where there is like an attack, and you've said it earlier, and like the other officers that I have said, you don't carry arms.
Yes, ma'am.
What if there is, like an attack? How do you defend yourself before you get the reinforcement of the police officers?
Of course. Okay, ma'am. See, I'm going to break it down so that you get the nitty-gritty. All our officers are trained in combat. You need to know the street life. Ma'am, I'm telling you, I'm a street boy. Because I can't survive on that street if I'm not a street boy.
Okay.
There's no way you could do it. And remember, what I told you right from the beginning, all these officers were brought from the local government. So we know every one of us in that local government. So if you're doing anything to attack us, which of course our officers work in pairs like every other officers all over the world. You can't work alone. You work in pairs. So while you are fighting somebody, another person is making a radio call. Another person is using the body-worn camera to record you so that it won't be your words against my words, but your words against what I have recorded. And this helps us in the courtroom, having it at the back of our mind that we are using taxpayers' money. So we need to use the money and to account for those money. So it's as good as when you get to court, my judge, this is it. This is the event. Like somebody going on a BRT lane and suddenly you change to the regular lane. It is being recorded before you even get to those officers. So that's one, and a lot of cases has been won by Lagos State Neighbourhood Safety Agency because the first rule, even Boy Scout, Girls Guide, you can't hold them. Don't touch that uniform. You need to respect it. But if you feel, yes, you have all the might and you want to go ahead, then go ahead. Then we're going to prosecute you at the end of the day. So we've got a lot of judgment, for us against, most of these people.
Because I asked that question because, there are some Lagosians who are just recalcitrant. They just want to attack any officer, uniform-wearing officer who is not armed. Lasma is a major, casualty of such attacks, and I'm also worried about the LNSA. I want, since you are into community policing, is there a way you collaborate with some community elders in ensuring more effective security delivery? People who you collaborate with, stakeholders.
Okay, ma. Yes, let me tell you, the biggest weapon we have is you, and every other person. Because when you say something, you need to say something. And when you say something, you follow it up. So that they won't be swept under the carpet. That's one. Two, for every our local government, we have about 369 wards in Lagos State. So you find us in those wards whereby we engage with the ballets, the harbor, the community to do their monthly meetings. And our own main objective is, what are your security challenges? Some of the report that we get from them, we share it with sister companies that has to do something or that has the power, or the mandate, to act on it. Like when you're talking about human trafficking for now, which we are into, because now we have about 8 new departments and units. So when you're talking about human trafficking, when we are praying, when we get report because of the advocacy we do from time to time, what we need to do after the report, we hand over to NAPTIP or to hand over to the Nigerian police. Okay. If it is child molesting, now we have Ministry of under Ministry of Justice, whereby they take care of those issues. So those are the areas where we collaborate with law enforcement. When it comes to the Nigerian police, we are great partners. Okay. When it comes to civil defense, we are there. When it comes to the legions, we are there. When it comes to Kai, we are there. Now, what Kai is doing right now, the under bridge and stuff, we have all those reports, which are special reports to say under this bridge that these people, under this bridge that people. And when you look at the expansion of neighborhood now, because we're talking about state policing, we don't need to lag behind. We need to be front runner. And we're talking about, for example, we are talking about marine, monitoring unit. Who is monitoring our creeks, our waterways? A lot of kidnappings now, a lot of human trafficking now go on the waterways, on the creek. Who is there? Nobody. But we are in there now. Okay. Who is monitoring our forests? When you shoot up a drones now, you can see, an earth somewhere and you see smoke coming out. Who is there? Who is residenting there? Who is domaining there? Who is the owner of that place? By the time you get there on a foot patrol to see who is there, you could find that it could be an herbalist. You could find that it could be a farmer. Okay. So if it is an herbalist, for example, what are you using to do all your conjuring? All your traditional stuff? We need to know.
You also find that out?
We need to know, ma'am. If we don't know, then you can't have any report and you can't have, the way we could assist as well. If you are just staying there, if you are a madman and you are just staying there, we should call the agency that is in charge of that to come and see what is happening. What is happening in our forest? I'm telling you, let's say 5 years, our grandchildren might not know what is called okete. The bushmeat, they may not recognize them because we don't have it again. Even the herbalist doesn't have what is called, because all the trees have been chopped down. We have under our Greek forensic department. We have the forest department. We have them there, which of course we are planning, to go into collaboration with them because, as well as the Nigeria Hunter Associations.
Okay.
We need to know what is happening.
So a lot of collaboration is being done.
Still talking about securing your community for a safer Lagos. Just briefly, I'd like you to share tips because securing your community means that everybody has a role to play, not just the agency, not just the government, but we as well as residents. So I'd like you to share tips on how community members can secure their environment.
Well, before now, we don't have these high fences, we don't have all these security cameras and stuff. But now that, the situation warrants it, what we need to advise most is that your area must be light up. The lighting must be there so that I can see who is there. I can see movement going on. If you're buoyant enough, which I know, the first one which I know, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, is working tirelessly on that to light up Lagos. And when you see all the politicians as well from their domain, they want to light up their domain. So we're getting results from that angle. Yes, if you're buoyant enough, you could have a CCTV as well. Like on my phone, I could monitor a lot of places that I need to monitor because I have those CCTV, mounted there to know what is happening. Not only that, when you see something, we always advocate for this, not now, but since. If you can't come to us, which of course some people will not believe me coming to you so that you won't tell them this is Mr. A that gave this information about you. Right. We have letterboxes in our local governments. Drop it there. So once you drop it, we do investigation. I have on my phone, most of the time I have people that will come and, drop, maybe complaints, help that they need about things. They drop it in my house as against going to the local government, but we still need to treat it. And we just don't pick on information sent to us. We investigate to be certain before we take a move. Because it will be wrong, you taking a move and at the end of the day, it wasn't true.
Okay. I have a question from,
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry,
resident. You're not done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Then again, when you go on our social media handles, when you go to our webpage now, which is LNSA Lagos, ng.gov.ng, you find a place there, a section there. When you point on it or click on it, it's talking about offices, neighborhood offices. So in the 57 local governments, you have all the head, we are called CO of the local government. You have their phone numbers and their addresses there.
Okay.
Just click on it, you have information. Go on our social media and you have information. We run a telephone of 24 hours. Call us, we are there.
Okay.
And if you are not calling that, just go to the nearest local government and you find our officers there.
Okay, time is fast spent, but someone is asking that what can you do to help to put a stop to a group of people who keep defacing people's houses, writing on their walls and pasting posters indiscriminately? They need to help step up patrolling in streets also.
Yes, ma'am. I will take that up in two folds.
Okay.
When you see somebody is writing on your wall, we have an agency that is in charge of you placing an advert or doing all these things. And I'm very, very, very sure and 100% that those agencies have a law enforcement unit of their own to monitor what is out there. So when they are doing this, yes, you can let us know. But most of the time, you as well can post no.
Okay, sir, my producer is right in front of me and it says it is time to go. Thank you very much, Prince Dr. Ifalade Oyekan, for your time and for clarity and commitment to safety of Lagosians. We'll have to bring you back because
Please.
we will have to
I'm
bring
ready
you back.
anytime.
Yes,
anytime.
we'll have
I'm
to
for
bring
you.
you back. And we've been talking about securing your community for a safer Lagos. And of course, you know, a lot of residents have been sending in, you know, questions to ask you. That is why we'll have to bring you back. We're sorry for this short time. We'll have to go back. We'll have to go now. The program continues after this short break.